So the new GTA Online update has finally just came out, and for this video I really wanted to go through all of the businesses, show you guys some of the new features, of course show you guys the price of these businesses, how they seem to work, and what they can offer. So without any further ado, let's get straight into it. The first time you log into GTA Online after updating, you will notice a new symbol on your map. Now you can either start heading directly to the airport, or instead just wait for Martin Madrazo to contact you. You will then be instructed to visit this icon anywhere, so it really doesn't matter. You then get this really nice cutscene, pretty much just introducing you to the business. I won't show you guys the cutscene just in case I spoil it for you or something, and you want to see this for yourself. But after this cutscene does end, we then get the opportunity to purchase this new car wash, and it will cost you $1 million. Once this is purchased, you can expand on this money laundering business by purchasing another two businesses. The first one will be called Smoke on the Water, costing you $850,000, so still pretty expensive. And the second business will be the Higgins Heli tours, costing you $900,000. In terms of upgrades for all these businesses, you can't really do too much. You can throw on a different tint, and that is pretty much about it. Now to talk about how these businesses really work, you will notice inside these separate businesses, you will have that new heat bar, a work earnings tab, and also a passive save. On the computer inside the car wash, there is 3 different options to choose from. The car wash itself is to lower the heat bar. The money laundering will increase the heat bar, but also make you guys some money through the laundering process. And the Mr. Faber work, from what I have played, is just essentially a contact mission, but a more advanced contact mission. They do take a while to complete. The first thing that I did, which was a little bit pointless considering I did not have any heat, was do one of the car wash missions, and it is really straightforward. We just collect a car, obviously get it washed, and deliver it back to the customer. This thing works very similar to the Auto Shop's vehicle client missions. If you guys crash, you lose a little bit of profit, and the vehicles can be repaired at the car wash if you do crash. A pretty cool feature nonetheless. In terms of making money directly from this, I would not recommend it. Obviously, the payout for this is not that good, but of course you will only be using this to lower the heat. Now to talk about this heat bar and how you guys increase it, and of course make more money, you would select money laundering on the computer. Alternatively, you can call the new contact called RAF and start it directly through this, which I think is a really cool feature. You can select pretty much everything you can on the computer just by calling this guy, potentially saving you some time. In this car wash money laundering mission, I had to pick up the stockade and then collect some different bank cash at 3 different banks in a time limit. Honestly, this was not a difficult thing to do. If you guys also get the same mission, you should be able to complete this in the time. Once all the cash was collected, I then had to deliver it to the car wash so that this money could be laundered. After completion, you will notice that the heat bar was increased, and it does not look like it increased too much, so that is really nice. I was kind of worried if it increased a lot, and then we had to do a bunch of car washing or something, so already that's pretty positive. Now I did mention a passive income safe, and this safe is actually really advanced, and it will show you guys all of the businesses that you earn with a tick box next to them. It also gives you a breakdown of how much passive income this will make, so if you had every single business, you will be maximizing your passive income at this safe. Honestly, a really cool feature. Albeit, the passive income does not look like it is too much. Just remember this will be generated every 48 minutes, but still a really nice thing, especially if you guys own a lot of businesses. At this point, I decided to go over to the Higgins Heli tours business. A really cool thing that you can do in this one is call in any of your personal helicopters. So directly from here, I can call in the Iron Mule if I needed to. Not a bad thing, but then again, I can just use the interaction menu instead. Inside this business, everything is really simple. The only thing that you can really do is access this computer, but just remember you can call RAF and access any one of these businesses that you have. So for the most part, you probably don't even need to visit this area. Just like the car washing business, I selected money laundering. I then had to go to a drop site, follow some smugglers, and recover the cash. And just like before, deliver it back to the Higgins Heli tours. This increased the heat bar the same way it did in the car wash, and from what I can tell, it looks like all of these businesses have separate heat bars, which I think is also really nice. If one of the businesses has a really high heat and you have been doing a lot of money laundering through this, you can just go to another business in the meantime. This time around, instead of doing a money laundering mission, I decided to select the Mr. Faber work, and like I previously mentioned, this is just essentially a advanced contact mission. There was a lot of different features that I could do. I had to lockpick a door with a new mechanic, which is pretty cool to see. I then had to feed a dog, so that was really interesting to see this. Find the flash drive and collect some whiskey bottles. Once completed, I also got a payout. Although it was only $26,000, still honestly pretty cool, I would say. After roughly 48 minutes, which is one in-game day of GTA Online, fine. Back over at the car wash, I did have some work earnings, and this was actually a really good amount at $70,000. The safe also generated me some money as well at $24,000, so not better than the nightclub's passive safe, but still a pretty nice amount paired with all of the other businesses. Now I collected this $70,000 straight away. I then did a car wash just to lower the heat, and when I returned from this, I had some more work earnings, another $35,000. So it looks like you guys could just keep repeating these money laundering missions, obviously fitting in some of the car washes, the heli toll rides, or the weed deliveries in between to make sure that your heat bar is completely empty. At some point, I will definitely test if having the heat bar all the way full will do anything, maybe lock you out of your business or something, or maybe your businesses get raided. Another thing that I also stumbled upon was a new sort of side business called the Quickie Farm, located really close to the LS Customs. The best possible way that I can describe these things is they are very similar to the taxi work or the pizza delivery missions. We get to use the new Sentinel GTS and then drive around to these different medical centers around the map, delivering the medical supplies. You will have a time limit for each individual delivery, but the Sentinel GTS is quite fast. You should be able to do this in the time limit. And after I delivered about 6 of these things, this was completed. Honestly, I thought this was going to be another business we could invest in. Maybe Rockstar will be doing this in a future update. At least I hope so, because I don't really want to do that every single time like taxi work, and I will probably not even touch this again. You will notice I only got a $32,000 payout for 13 minutes, so very similar to a contact mission. I also drove 18 miles, which is genuinely insane. At this point, I also wanted to touch on the business boosts. If you guys remember from the DLC information we got from Rockstar, some of our businesses could be boosted by purchasing these money laundering fronts. The first one that I went to check was my weed farm. Obviously, I bought the smoke and water business, and it looks like this actually did get a pretty nice increase. When I go to sell my stock, I do not have completely full stock, but I can make nearly $400,000 from the highest paying option, so a pretty generous increase. For reference, we have some of the old weed farm payouts, or at least the payouts without these new businesses, and we can see with all of the upgrades, or even the equipment upgrade and staff upgrade, we would be able to make $252,000 if we sell remote. So hopefully based on this, we can see that the payout increase looks to be pretty worthwhile. And just remember, you can further increase the sell price by selling in full public lobbies. So yeah, already just based on this, actually seeing it, I think this is well worth it. After this one, I went over to my Counterfeit cash factory, which will be tied to the car wash. This one also got a really nice increase, selling completely full stock for just under $500,000. To compare this to the cocaine lockup, you will see full stock at my cocaine lockup would get me $525,000. Just bear in mind, I do have all of the upgrades for these businesses, and obviously the cocaine lockup was not affected so far by any of these things. And just like the weed farm, for reference, here are all of the payouts for the Counterfeit cash factory without these businesses. So with every single upgrade and selling remote, you could have made $294,000, so a really generous increase again. The last business that also has a boost is the air freight cargo or the hangar business. I had to collect 1 crate, and once this was delivered and I logged onto the computer, you will see I can sell this 1 single crate for $33,000. It is also worth mentioning at the current time of this video going live, I'm not entirely sure what this event week has. For example, this hangar business could potentially be boosted with some double money. Hopefully this is not the case, and this is a boosted payout in general from owning the Higgins Heli tours. If these things do not have double money and this is the payout for them, I think that is actually a really good investment. Just paying $800,000, that $1 million for the car wash, and that $900,000 will be a really good investment in my opinion. Tied in with these boosted payouts for these businesses, that passive income safe from owning all of businesses, and of course their money laundering missions, I do not think this update is too bad. Also remember, a lot of vehicles were added, and the missile lock-on feature is available for 50 new vehicles. I will probably cover this in a future video. Currently it is really early and we don't have too much information. I will be dropping an event week video when we get some more information as well, so make sure that you guys stay tuned for that. But yeah guys, I'm intrigued to hear your thoughts on this update. Have you guys noticed anything else? And if you guys have, make sure to leave a comment. Also let me know what you guys think about this update. Do you guys think it is good? I definitely don't think there is too much content. Obviously we sort of had an idea because of the update size, but still I think it's pretty good. I will definitely be having a money method video on these things over the next few days. But anyways guys, if you went on to enjoy this video or found it useful in any way, shape or form, make sure to leave a like. I always do appreciate your support. And if you are new here and like what you see, subscribe subscribe and hit that bell icon to never miss a video. Finally guys, stay safe, thanks for watching, and I will catch you in the next one.